and welcome to Pure Food for Thought. I have a very special guest with me today, and it is January. He does deliver scoops and smiles in his shop in downtown Lancaster. It's on Prince Street.
Correct.
I have David Hommel of Carmen and David's Creamery, and if you have never been, you have to go, even if it is February. That's a perfect time to go.
February,
On Valentine's weekend?
The first Saturday of February is the perfect time.
Yes.
That is International Ice Cream for Breakfast Day.
Oh, no, it's
We
not.
open at 8 a.m. on Saturday morning and serve waffles and ice cream for breakfast.
I love that.
It's awesome.
That's great.
It's great fun.
So, David, I wanted to ask,
Yes.
if there was something that people could learn from your story today, what would it be?
Do what you love, and let the rest just come along. That would be when I was in high school. I excelled at math and physics and all that stuff, and so when I graduated and told my parents that what I really wanted to do was to go to chef school in New Haven, Connecticut, my father was incensed and said, "No, you're going to engineering school," and packed me off to college, and I became an engineer, which was fine. But my real love has always been in the kitchen and making food and preparing food and doing things. And so when I retired from the furniture business, which I'd gotten into for many years, and I decided it was time to do what I loved.
And I think it's like very apparent because you always seem to smile a lot when you're talking about the ice cream.
It's wonderful
Yeah.
stuff. It's great fun. It connects with people. It makes people laugh, and people have a good time. I enjoy it.
So a lot of times when people hear "do what you love," like you spent your whole career doing the engineering work. Was it a hard adjustment, or?
No. I've always enjoyed what I do, and maybe that's, it's difficult. I just know so many people who seem to hate their work.
Right.
They don't enjoy it, and I think to myself, what a shame. You spend so much time doing what you do every day. You get up every morning, and if you don't like it, why do you do it? So when I say do what you love, I enjoyed. Obviously you don't excel at mathematics and engineering if you don't like it.
Right.
And I did like it, and I did enjoy it. And the furniture industry, school, institutional furniture, working with the classrooms and things, all of that I enjoyed very, very much. But when that part of my life and that career was waning down, and I had to look around for what I wanted to do with my time and my energy, it wasn't hard because I had passions, and I just follow what I love.
Did you dabble with that? Like when you were working,
sure.
of course, in the office, did you still dabble on the weekends with making ice cream, or were you always having fun in the kitchen, or
Yeah,
how did you
always.
balance your love?
That's always been sort of if I am thoroughly stressed, I got on a acquisition team with a corporation that I worked with, and we used to travel and go around and have to. We purchased a lot of companies. We had to deliver sometimes bad news that we were closing one plant or consolidating something else, and you go out, you have to talk to 150 people and tell them that, well, your company is now defunct, and we bought up all of the assets, and we're moving it to wherever. It's very stressful. I hated that part of it, and my stress relief was always to come home, go shopping at market, come back and cook for the entire weekend, and just cook all kinds of stuff, anything I could think of, and I enjoyed it. It was great fun.
From savory to sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
And savory in ice cream is wonderful.
Which we're going to have to get to, because I'm curious about the ice cream flavors. And you do competitions and you do different flavors. You rotate them.
Sure.
But I'm curious to know, when you transition from the corporate, and you're following your passion and you're doing the work with the ice cream, it still can't be rainbows and unicorns and heavenly music playing all the time. It's not perfect, right? Like, what kind of challenges do you face now that you've moved from one career into the next, even though what you're doing now is what you love?
Well, there's always challenges. Equipment breaks down, people disappoint, things don't work the way they're supposed to. Somebody doesn't make a delivery on time. There's always that sort of thing happening no matter what you do. So it's not all happiness, joy, but but that's all part of the excitement of working and doing things.
What are some of the biggest rewards that you have, I guess?
The biggest rewards, I have no problem describing the biggest reward that I have, which is the interaction that I get to have with all of my youngsters, my employees. They're wonderful. And that has always been something that I've enjoyed. I enjoy teaching. I enjoy watching young people excel at what they do and get better and move on to greater and grander things. And even when I was in the manufacturing business, if somebody got an opportunity to go somewhere else and do well, I always made sure we had a big party for them and congratulate them. I had a young lady who worked for me for 6 years in just, manual labor in the plant, but she was working towards her teaching degree. And when she graduated, we threw a big party for her. We were so excited, that I always told people, I said, you can do whatever you want and you can go wherever you decide to go, and I'm here to help you, not to hold you back. I love the youngsters. They're the greatest. I get to work with college students and high school students. I get them out of high school. Usually they stay through college and then they move on to other things. I have a young lady who worked for me who is now a research scientist. I have one of the first young ladies who really worked with us and became sort of the gold standard for employees, is now has her master's degree, and she is a counselor in a public school district in central Pennsylvania. It's just wonderful, and she has a husband, and she's starting her own family, and it's really neat to be able to watch and stay in touch with all these people and see what they're doing.
That's what it sounds. I mean, you could tell. I mean, just to hear the stories.
Great. I know them all. Support them all. We keep in touch with everybody. It's wonderful. That's the best part of it. That's the best part of it, bar none. The next thing down, it's just all the interactions that you have with local people and customers, and things that are going on in the community, and being a focal point of the community. That was one of the things that Carmen and I wanted to do from the very beginning with whatever venture we decided to get into, was that we would be connected in the community and helping to build community where we were, because that's really more important to us than anything.
And you're in the heart of the city. You're right between Lancaster Central Market. You do?
Yeah, we live a block and a half from.
Oh my goodness!
So
no wonder you can go to market. Yeah, well, that's really nice.
It's lovely.
Yeah. So where do you find the inspiration for all of your flavors? Especially if you like to play in the kitchen, like you have some of the best ice cream flavors. I have to.
Reading, cooking. Walking the markets. I do a lot of reading about food and experimentation with food. A lot of my customers and a lot of my friends are professional chefs. So we talk about things and they go, ooh, that sounds interesting. Ooh, there have been a lot of things that I have made that I've gone, okay, that's really horrible.
Oh, good. That's what I want to know. Like,
so that'll never see the light of day. Okay, goodbye.
What are some of the really awful flavors? And then we'll follow it up with some of the most popular ones.
Well,
but I'm curious.
The first one that was a total disaster. I made. I love tart cherry, so I made this tart cherry sorbet that was really fabulous, and then, for some unknown reason, I just thought I could make this into an ice cream flavor. And of course, it was I don't know what
it sounds like it would have
I don't know what I was thinking. It just curdled all the milk. It was like it had too much citric acid in it, in the cherries, and the whole thing just turned into this sort of nasty tasting cottage cheesy looking thing. And
that's
I said,
awful.
okay, that's gone. We threw that out. We rearranged that to use sweet cherries. But, it was just, that was one. I've done some things with, goodness. I've done some things with some really bizarre flavors. I did a saffron for someone.
Oh.
Saffron ice cream. It was very interesting.
Was it coconut milk based or?
No, I don't do anything with coconut.
Okay.
I make ice cream.
Right.
And ice cream has got to have cream.
Yes.
I'm a little particular about that. It's sort of like, people go, oh, you have to make an almond milk or a coconut milk. And I go, yeah, I can, but they're really kind of yucky. They don't come out very good.
So an ice cream purist.
Yes, I am. It's just the right thing. Cream and milk and sugar, and they make a nice
Now,
cream
eggs
mix.
are not necessary for ice cream, right?
Not necessary.
This is going to settle a huge bet for me. You have
Sure.
no idea. Thank you so
Okay.
much. I didn't prompt you for that answer.
No, you did not.
Okay, good.
Okay.
But eggs aren't necessary. That's more of a custard, right?
A custard has at least 1.4% egg yolk
Okay.
by weight. There's actually
You're so precise.
Well, there's actually FDA standards
Oh,
for
okay.
ice cream and for custard and for sherbet. The reason for that is that back in the 50s, along came this little upstart company called Dairy Queen. They started making ice milk in cones and calling it ice cream. And the dairy industry went, all the ice cream manufacturers, and there were back in the 50s, you couldn't ship ice cream more than about 35, 40 miles. So there were 275 ice cream manufacturers in Pennsylvania alone.
Boy.
And all the little ice cream companies, they have a nice lobby, the dairy lobby, and they raised up their voices in alarm and said, no, we can't allow this. And so they lobbied the FDA to make standards for ice cream, and one of them was that it has to be 10% cream, 20% milk solids, and if you wanted to make custard, it had to have 1.4% egg yolks at least. You couldn't just throw something in there and say, oh, this is custard. No, it's got to be. So yes, I am precise. Eggs are often used in ice cream because they are an excellent emulsifier and stabilizer. The egg yolks act as an emulsifier, the egg whites act as a stabilizer, and it helps keep all the water and the fat separated so that you don't get little fat streaks or ice crystals.
But it totally would
you
not
don't
have helped
to.
that cherry.
No, not at all.
Okay.
No, it's too much citric
That's too
acid.
bad.
That's just the way it goes.
Now, what's
Yes.
one of the most popular flavors that you make, or one of your favorite?
Everybody says, what's the most popular flavor you make? Vanilla.
Really, vanilla? Is
vanilla.
it even your favorite? That's your favorite?
No,
Okay.
not my personal favorite, but I mean that's the
most.
that we make more vanilla than any other
Wow.
ice cream there is,
Okay.
and vanilla outsells everything. So, we like my personal favorites are the ice creams with chilies. I make
little bit of heat.
I make a holy moly ice cream, which is based on a Mexican mole sauce with chocolate and almonds and raisins and chilies and sesame seeds toasted, and it's
That
awesome.
sounds amazing.
It's very good, and it's
Okay.
and when you have chilies and ice cream, you taste it, you go, oh, this is all this nice good flavors, and then if you swallow it, the heat comes because cream is the thing that kills the heat.
Right.
So you go, oh, I better take another bite. Then the heat goes away. And then it
How
comes.
long? This is
great.
what seems so apparent
Yeah.
to me when you say what you hope people would learn from your story is follow your passion.
Yeah.
How long have you been in business? It's been how many years? 6
years.
6 years.
Yeah.
So in 6 years, to hear you speak about ice cream and
Yeah.
recipes and ingredients, and not just making the ice cream, but the history of how things happened. Like your passion is very clear. Like it's evident, right? So it.
Yes, and the young people often ask me, well, I don't know, I don't know what to do. I don't know, where I'm headed. And I just go, just let it flow. What interests you? What sparks your interest? What makes you get up in the morning and go, oh, I want to do this today, or pick up a book. You pick up a book and you read it, and you can't put it down. Why? What is it that's got your attention? And that's that's what you gravitate towards. That's what makes you alive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, do that.
Yeah.
Do that thing. Follow it.
I
Whatever
love that.
it is. Even if it doesn't look like it's going to make you a lot of money, what's that got to do with anything?
Mm-hmm.
If you're alive and that's
and you have
yeah,
good health, and you can pay your bills. That's wonderful. I think it's great advice. It's a big risk for some people, but it's some really good advice to follow, and to, like you said, open that book every day or do a little bit of something that you love.
Yeah.
So I think that's some great advice. And I mean, it's great to hear you talk about, we met because you spoke with my husband at you won the Susquehanna Styles Best Of.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
For 2014, you won the Best Ice Cream in Susquehanna Valley. So I met you because my husband was talking shop with you.
Yeah.
And I knew you from the food side. So it's interesting to hear you talk so passionately about your passion for food and ice cream. So I think people should definitely stop in. The creamery opens back up, Carmen and David's Creamery. It's located on Prince Avenue, right across the street from the Fulton Theater and right next to the Lancaster Central Market. There's easy parking.
Oh, yeah.
But you don't need any excuse. Like, you should just go. You'll find parking. It's ice cream.
Yeah, the whole downtown is a great experience anyway. So,
definitely. And what day was the breakfast?
February 7th. First Saturday in February every year is International Ice Cream for Breakfast Day.
Perfect. Like if you need an excuse, really, you don't. But you should go.
It's a real thing.
I think that's great. I think I should put that in my calendar because I feel like I need that chili ice cream right now.
Oh, awesome.
But thank you so much for joining us. This was
pleasure.
so much fun.
Thank you.
Be sure to follow us on the iTunes, on YouTube, and subscribe. So thanks so much for listening in, and we'll catch you in the next episode.